So this is the first time I'm really doing something like this, but I want to just take a quick opportunity to break down the Pokemon Champions overview trailer because it goes over the release date, but also just like how Champions itself is going to work. And since I do really actually want to be a part of a lot of the Champions content and make a lot of content around Champions, I'm actually really excited to talk about one of the specific things here that was showcased in this video here. So we're just going to hop right into it. Let's just get into this. So we already kind of knew what Champions was going to be about. Like, we already knew that this was basically just going to be a battle simulator, right? Like, we already knew that you're just going to log on to this game and just play. Like, you're just, you could transfer Pokemon over. But one of the big things that you can do, and it comes right here. We're going to skip around this. We're not going to watch the whole trailer, just as a heads up. We're not going to go through the whole trailer. If you'd like to watch the whole trailer without me babbling over it, and we'll leave a link down in the description down below for you guys to go check it out. But we're just going to kind of like just jump around real quick. One of the things that I'm really excited about is this right here. And this makes it so this game is so accessible to everyone. Not only for this.
Transfer your Pokemon from games in the Pokemon RPG series and the Pokemon Go app.
This right here means that anyone with a smartphone and no other money can just go out and just start catching Pokemon. Or, I'm sorry, no other Pokemon games, so just go out, catch Pokemon, and just transfer them over to Pokemon Home. Now, I know there's a lot of different things behind that. They have to be avid Pokemon Go players to get access to, like, the real good, like, some of the real good Pokemon, you know. But another thing that this game does is it allows you to recruit Pokemon over on Pokemon Champions. With this little thing right here.
Choose one Pokemon to recruit once per day from a random selection of Pokemon that appear in the game. Recruited Pokemon can only be used in Pokemon Champions for a certain amount of time.
Now, that little thing is immediately remedied by a little later on, like I think it's right here, where you can use VP to actually recruit Pokemon to have them permanently.
You can only recruit once per day, but by using VP, you can recruit multiple times. Keep in mind that recruited
right there, you can see right there, permanent recruitment.
Available for 1 week, but with VP, any recruited Pokemon will be permanently added.
And that right there, that is awesome. So that means that anyone can just log on to this game, just play the game however they can, and just start getting access to Pokemon. Now, the pool of Pokemon that you could just start getting, you know, was a little up in the air. And we kind of already knew that this was just going to be a thing. Like, we knew that this was going to be a feature of this game. But I'm glad to see that on this trailer, we're finally just getting that confirmation that, like, if you've never even played a Pokemon game before, you could boot this up and start collecting Pokemon by playing this, and you could just play the game. Now, like, obviously, we need the more nitty-gritty details of, like, how you're going to get the Pokemon, like, through, like, if it's just going to be, like, a big pool of Pokemon, what kind of Pokemon are going to be in that pool, and so on and so forth. I'm sure we'll learn more about that as time goes on. But for now, like, I love that. Secondly, I want to talk about, where was it shown? Right here.
Power up your Pokemon. The decisions you make could influence the tide of battle. With Mega...
So this sucks. I like, it's quite literally the Squidward meme where he's just watching SpongeBob and Patrick running out the window because these two got brand new abilities and he gets Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker is still a pretty good ability, especially on a fighting type. So that means that, like, anytime the Terrapagos is legal, Emboar is a great Pokemon. You just punch it in the face. It's a good ability. I'm not going to lie, but this is just funny to me. So before I break down both of these, this got me excited. Look, you can see right here, it's raining right now, and Meganium is using Solar Beam. And that is a 1-turn solar beam, just showed off right there. So these two abilities right here, Dragon Eyes and Mega Soul, we actually have the official Cerebi like confirmation of what these abilities are. And I'll throw them up here on screen so you guys can see it. But Dragon Eyes makes it's exactly how you would think about it. Makes all normal type moves, dragon type moves with a 20% power boost. Feraligatr learns double edge. Mega Feraligatr has a base 160 attack with a great defensive and offensive typing with very solid bulk and a speed stat that is actually very serviceable in Tailwind, and it has access to Dragon Dance. I think this is Feraligatr's time, baby. That's amazing right there. Probably going to make him a little one-dimensional, but hey, listen, you Mega Evolve, you clicked Double Edge, 120 base power plus 20% power boost on top of Stab. You're going to hurt shit, even without Dragon's Dance. And then Mega Soul, what it does is it allows Meganium to utilize any moves and get the effects as if Sun was active. So, for example, Solar Beam, you saw it use Solar Beam in the rain. It can use that in 1 turn because the Sun is active. Synthesis will always give it the 75% HP heal. And then if it learns growth in champions, correct me if I'm wrong, I actually don't even know if Meganium currently knows growth. I don't think it does. But if it learns growth in champions, that means you could just get a +2 special attack and physical attack boost immediately. These two right here are going to be amazing. I think these abilities made these two Pokemon. I'm so excited. And I do have hopes for Emboar. Mold Breaker is still a really good ability. But, like, I'm just saying. Like, he got left in the dust. And then the game does go over, like, all the different modes and stuff that you have access to. Like, you have ranked battles. Let's click it right here. You have ranked battles, casual battles, private battles, and online competitions. And this one's actually really exciting. It's probably going to work a lot like Scarlet and Violet. But the way that they describe it, let's see if I can get to it. Here we go.
In-game online competitions in which you'll battle with preset rules that change every season.
So when they say every season, it makes it sound like they're going to drop like little online tournaments like every season for people to participate in. I think that's actually really cool. Like we needed more of this outside of the grand challenge and outside of people making their own ladder tours on Scarlet and Violet. So if this is something that everyone's going to have access to every single season, maybe even multiple ones every season that are officially hosted, that's awesome. Because I have nothing against people making the ladder tours. Like I hope that feature stays, but they're never going to get the amount of traction as an official one that's open for everyone to just join, that anyone could log in and go, oh, wow, look at that tournament I could join. Let me pop into that. So there's always more ways of, like, publicity with these, like, official ones, So I'm hoping that, like, that's a pretty good mainstay. Now, here's where they're starting to talk about the VP, and I think this is kind of the best part about champions right here. It's like
you can swap the moves a Pokemon can learn.
But you can see there at the bottom. So just to change the moves, it was 250 VP. Not bad. Changing the nature 500.
Modify its abilities.
Changing the ability is 500.
The stat points of a Pokemon can also be adjusted.
And then the stat points look to be about like 5 per increase, which is actually pretty nice. And I know some of these values seem a little bit high, but I think one of the things that, like, I think this is still extremely accessible for a lot. Like, this is a battle simulator. So at the end of the day, what you're going to get the most out of this game is just doing battles. So there's always the possibility that this game offers, like, preset teams for people to just hop into rank or whatever with. That's more stuff that we'll have to figure out as time goes on. But even if they don't, this is still a game where, like, you have multiple ways of getting access to Pokemon throwing them in, and even if they aren't fully ready to go, if you just hop into battles to earn VP and get those points to just start building Pokemon off on the side, you're gonna be great. And then if you're a longtime player, like most of the Pokemon that you have already trained from previous games and you transfer it over here, it should carry over because that's how it's been done for other games in the past, like from Shield to Scarlet and Violet and so on and so forth. So I think regardless, I think this is a great system here because like this just makes everything just more accessible. You're playing the game, you're playing the battle simulator to get battle simulator points to raise the Pokemon however you want, and it's in such an easily done in an accessible way.
So try out different ways to battle.
And then the last thing I wanted to touch on, I love all this customization. Like this looks awesome. Like you can make your characters pretty cool. Like so many different ways of using VP. But all in all, I'm very excited for Champions. And then we have our release date here on April 8th. So in 2 weeks, we're getting this game. It's going to be launched. So we're going to find out as much as we can about the first regulation and things like that, what they're going to be doing with this game. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. And this trailer here has just further bolstered my excitement for this game. And I'm looking forward to how Champions is going to further VGC, because I think this is the most accessible VGC has ever been. Like, they're just about anyone can now hop in and just start learning VGC because they now have an official way of just getting in here and just making Pokemon for free rather than going through all the like hoops and hurdles that you have to go through a main game first when you could just hop in. And yeah, sure, it might still take some time to actually like build up teams if you're just coming straight into it from this game or even just Pokemon Go. But it's still like anyone can hop in and anyone can start playing this. And that's what I really like about this. There's no like understanding nutrients and all how that works and how to specifically EV farm. Like it's all just you're moving sliders. And I think that's really awesome. So I'm looking forward to Champions. Hopefully you guys are too. I'm looking forward to do a lot of content around Champions and just do as much like making different teams, using my favorite Pokemon and things like that. So hope you guys are interested in any of that stuff. Hopefully you guys are as excited as I am for Champions. And yeah, that's all she wrote for me on this one. Just wanted to go over my thoughts on this trailer and some of my excitements, and then talk about Mega Meganium and Feraligatr, who I think are actually going to be really, really good. I have a lot of faith in those two. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.